The DeSmet Spartans have won a league record 8 championships. They're gunning for the natural hat trick 3 in a row. Who's second with the most league championships? Surprise, it's the Kirkwood Pioneers. They have now 4 titles and are gunning for their first title in 9 years. The Pioneers are only one of 4 public schools to win the title in the past 20 years of MidStates high school hockey action. This will also pit the most successful private school program against the most successful public school program. The DeSmet Spartans have won 8 titles, as I mentioned. They've been second 3 times. Kirkwood's been here at the championship game 4 times. They have never finished second. Every time they've played in the championship game, they've won it. Can they continue their streak tonight? The coaches tonight are each going for their first rings. Reese Struckman has been active in the coaching scene for the past 20 years in the St. Louis area, most notably with the Brentwood Blazers Junior D Club, most recently with the Lafayette Lancers and the high school elite team. Steve McElroy, coaching the Kirkwood Pioneers, is typical of the Kirkwood hockey program. McElroy is a Kirkwood alum. He played for the squad, along with his assistant coaches, Tom Kramer and Greg Griffin. McElroy is seeking his first solo championship ring. Good evening, everybody. My name's Ed Overing. Along with me, Tom Calhoun, Program Director for WIBD Radio in Belleville, and Craig Higgs, Assistant Coach for the St. Louis Junior Blues Hockey Club.
Welcome to the championship game of the 20th annual MidStates High School Hockey Tournament.
Let's tune in now for the opening announcements and the starting lineup for tonight's game.
The winner of the St. Louis Blue High School Challenge Cup. The 2 teams are the Kirkwood Pioneers and the DeSmet Spartans. Kirkwood finished the regular season winning the South Division with an overall league record of 18 wins, 2 losses, and no ties for 36 points. DeSmet finished the season in second place in the West Division with 15 wins, 2 losses, and 3 ties for 33 points. And now the roster and starting lineup for the Kirkwood Pioneers. Starting in goal, number 32, Kit Varela. Starting at left defense, number 22, Mark Bawley. Starting at right defense, number 14, Ian Campbell. Starting at left wing, number 13, Erno Torinian. Starting at right wing, number 15, Nick Reiser. And starting at center, number 17, Kiva Gippo. And the rest of the Kirkwood squad, number 1, Nick Augusta. Number 2, Craig Herwick. Number 4, Todd Almquist. Number 6, Ryan Girl. Number 7, Ryan Jackson. Number 8, John Caney. Number 9, Eric Flint. Number 10, Jeff Carriger. Number 11, Matt Neiman. Number 18, Chad Day. Number 19, Ethan Lewis. Number 20, Danny Patrick. And number 21, Eric Nichols. The Kirkwood coach is Steve McElroy. And now the roster and starting lineup for the DeSmet Spartans. Starting in goal, number 1, Scott Bothell. Starting at left defense, number 4, Jason Burgess. Starting at right defense, number 20, Joe Behringer. Starting at left wing, number 7, Steve Luby. Starting at right wing, number 9, Andy McMillan. Starting at center, number 5, Brent Wiley. And the rest of the DeSmet squad, number 8, Todd Fogarty. Number 10, Doug Quinn. Number 12, Brendan Moore. Number 14, Bill Brasser. Number 17, Mike Wood. Number 19, Sam Shapiro. Number 21, Dan Kelly. Number 22, Brian Jones. Number 24, Jeff Pegatoff. Number 29, Scott Salmon. And number 30, John Fishback. The Spartans are coached by Lou Struckman. Former St. Louis Blues center Blake Dunlop will deliver the St. Louis Blues Alumni Association and St. Louis Blues Hockey Club Scholarship Award for 1991. This year's scholarship winner is Brad Davis from St. Louis Country Day. Brad is the captain and top scorer this year for the Rams, but Brad also stars off the ice. Since the 7th grade, Brad has been on the headmasters list and sports a 3.75 grade point average.
Thank you. Again, I just want to mention the St. Louis Blues alumni and the St. Louis Blues scholarship. This is $2,000 scholarship to the high school athlete who combines the following criteria. Somebody who's in good standing with MidStates, has leadership and good sportsmanship abilities, an overall grade point average of 3% or better, and is involved in school and non-related school activities. This year's leader, winner, as you know, was Brad Davis from Country Day. Was their top scorer. Their captain had a 3.75 grade average, and Brad plans to attend Brown University or Harvard. So this year's winner is well-deserved, Brad Davis from Country Day.
The referee for tonight's game is Jerry Bird. The linemen are Mal Sinnard and Bob Cunningham. The goal judges are Bill Moran, Rich Weigler, and Ed Marsh. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for a moment of silence for our men and women in the Persian Gulf? Thank you. Would you please remain standing for our national anthem sung by Lynn Humphrey with Ernie Hayes at the organ.
stirring rendition of our national anthem before this, the 20th championship game for the Mid-States High School Hockey Association. No team has won 3 titles in a row. Now, 2 teams have done it twice. They are the DeSmet Spartans and the Kirkwood Pioneers. So we're going to could see some history tonight if DeSmet can win their 3rd in a row. Kirkwood, of course, would like to start another streak of their own. And Craig, this is like as much as any other game. The first few minutes, the first few shifts of this game are really going to play an important role tonight.
It's going to be crucial for DeSmet to shake off some of the Kirkwood hitting. I know Kirkwood, as they did Friday night, as you previously came out with a physical game right off the bat. And it's going to be interesting to see if the DeSmet Spartans can keep their focus, keep play moving down into the Kirkwood zone, and try and control with their offensive guns, like they got McMillan and Kelly, Scott Salmon. Some of those guys have to step forward. They're going to take some hits tonight.
In order for Kirkwood to be effective tonight, they have got to play the body and they have got to play aggressively. That is their style. Coach Steve McElroy had mentioned to me he wasn't really sure the past few games. He wasn't sure which team was going to show up. The one that had hit early, hit often, and intimidated the opposition, or that laid back. So we should have a good one tonight. Let's go over to Tom Calhoun for the play-by-play.
All right, Ed, thank you. And hello, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank the MidStates Club Hockey Association for inviting me to be here tonight. And let's have some fun. The Pioneers win the opening face-off and jump into the blue line for DeSmet. It's punched around there over to the sideboards as Kirkwood tries to control into the DeSmet zone. Now the Spartans break out. Dump it down into the Kirkwood end where the Pioneers come up with it. Back out to center ice, and it's Gippo down the right wing. He's got a shot and a save. And it's cleared away by the Spartans back out to the right point. They try to pinch in along the sideboards, but can't hold it in. So the Pioneers go back to set it up again. Now it's knocked way down into the Kirkwood end where starting goalie Kip Barella corrals it. Back deep for it. It's Thawley. Takes it up the left sideboard, and it's center ice. Here comes number 13, Terry Ainen again. Out in front, loose in front, and now over to the behind the boards into the right corner it goes, where DeSmet comes up with a loose puck. Out in front dangerously is Wiley. Takes it up across the blue line and to the center ice area, and shot right back in by Kirkwood. DeSmet, Sam Shapiro has it in the right corner, bounces it back around to the left side. Kirkwood holds it in. DeSmet loses the puck out in front. Wrist shot is snapped in there by Chad David, blocked. And now DeSmet has it in their own right corner. Back out to the point. Kirkwood having the early advantage here as far as territory advantage is concerned. Now into the right corner. Here's a wrist shot by Hurwitz. Blocked at the defense. Slap shot and a save. Bacco comes up with a save for DeSmet. Slapped down the side out to the center ice area. Or DeSmet tries to get things organized. Kirkwood on top of the Spartans here in the early going. At the blue line, it is McMillan. He shoots it across, and the Pioneers come up with it again after a line change. Pass up the left side. Here comes Gurl down the left side with it. He drops it, slap shot, and it's going to go behind the goal, not on goal, and over into the right corner. A couple of players fall on top of the loose puck. No whistle as the referee says play on. Brasser with it behind the goal up the right side, and they can't hold it in. Fawley couldn't quite keep the puck in the DeSmet end. 11:42 to go here in the first period of action, no score. At the arena in St. Louis, this is the championship of the Mid-States Club Hockey Association for 1991. Kirkwood again controlling the puck at center ice, but they lose it now as Brasser comes up with a for DeSmet. For the Pioneers in white, take it right back. Now DeSmet again controls the puck. Kelly with it. Up into the Kirkwood zone. Pioneers back for it. On right defense, it's Nick Reiser. Played now back behind the goal. And Kirkwood gets it out to center ice with the puck. It is Day. Day across the blue line. Makes a move and is taken down. No call, though. As the puck comes off, or the goal rather, comes off the magnet. Nice move there on that play by number 18, Chad Day.
Chad Day's one of my players in the junior hockey. Very fast. He's got an excellent backhand shot. Chad Day is an effective bump and grind type player. He's more of a hitter or physical type corner control man. It's interesting that the DeSmet so far tonight have been unable to control the puck with some of their wide open passing like they had during the season. Kirkwood's been right on top of them at the start of the hat, and it's important that Thawley and the defensemen stand up and hold their own blue line against the fastest Spartan team.
Patrick on the face-off for Kirkwood. He wins it back to the point. Jumps down into the corner. DeSmet plays it around the board. There's Neiman for Kirkwood dumping it behind the goal. And it is Patrick once again holding it up against the sideboards with the help of Kuriger. And DeSmet plays it up the ice, and it'll go all the way down for an icing call. With 10:39 to go in the first period, as yet no score between Kirkwood and DeSmet.
One of the players we need to look for tonight is Craig Herwick. Now, Herwick has already had a couple of marginal chances. He had a chance to pick off a shot at the corner to the right of Scotty Bockel. One of the games we saw earlier this year, Herwick could have had 5 goals. And assistant coach Greg Griffin has told me that Herwick is a big game player. He's a pressure player, so we're going to have to keep his eye out for him tonight.
DeSmet controls the face-off. Bockel plays it around the boards and out of the zone to center ice, where Ian Campbell comes up with it for Kirkwood. And here's a whistle as we've got an offsides call at the DeSmet blue line.
Kirkwood's pretty much followed their game plan so far, Craig.
Right, and Chad Day's out there on the wing right now. He's going to try and control the boards against the DeSmet forward. DeSmet is a much faster club. It's going to be interesting if Herrick can get some chances tonight.
Face off in the center ice area, won by the Pioneers. A near breakaway there. Jamie McMillan for DeSmet almost found the puck on his stick, headed towards the goal, but the Pioneers take it on in. Down the right wing, it's Girl. He tries a shot from in close on the right side. Bad angle, and the save easily by Bockel as DeSmet tries to get it out. Can't get it past the blue line, and the Pioneers again keep it in the DeSmet zone. Spartans back for it. Try to play it up the right side, where holding it in is Herwick. Bockel plays it behind the goal and around the boards. They jam up against the right boards. Back to the point now. Passed in there. As Kirkwood passes it out in front. Here's a shot and a save by Bockel. Big shot there by Girl as he had an attempt from just a few feet away in front, but Bockel comes up big.
No surprise here, Ed. I think Kirkwood's holding the puck in deep into the DeSmet zone, trying to work plays from behind the net. They've been successful with that, especially against CBC. They seem to control the back of the boards down there at Afton on Friday night.
Of course, it's Girl and Herwick making things happen for the Pioneers so far tonight.
Yeah, Herwick's only a matter of time before he finds the back of the net with one of them.
There'll be a face-off again at the DeSmet end. And DeSmet controls it. They get it out over the blue line to the center ice area. Back for it for Kirkwood is Fawley. Plays it up the right boards, and now holding it in for DeSmet. Here's Kelly up the left wing. Back behind the net, and Pioneers play it back out to the point. Holding it in there for DeSmet is number 19, Shapiro. And Kirkwood goes back for it behind their goal. DeSmet finally able to keep it in the Kirkwood end for a little bit of time. Now they play it back in. This will be an offside call against DeSmet. 9:13 to go. First period action. No goals yet in the game.
No surprise, Ed. Tight checking tonight. I think both teams are going to feel themselves out. See who can get the upper advantage. The first goal is going to tell a lot tonight.
Number 22 out there for Kirkwood, Mark Thawley. Now, Thawley is going to see a lot of ice time tonight. He is the steadiest defenseman, and he sees a lot of action on the specialty teams and regular ice, too.
Off the face-off, the puck goes way back into the DeSmet zone. They chase back after it. Burgess back there. It's bumped up against the boards as he plays it around the right side. Now back behind the goal where Kirkwood plays it out in front. Here's a shot and a save. Taking the shot was Reiser. It went up high with it, but Bockel got a piece of it to keep it out of there. Still no goals in the game as DeSmet plays it down into the Kirkwood end. Pioneers get it out to center ice where Gippo breaks through to the middle. Off to the right side, Reiser with a slap shot goes wide. And DeSmet trying to come up the right wing boards with it. Playing it out of there is Quinn.
back into the Kirkwood zone as the Pioneers come back up to center ice to Gippo. Now it's Campbell with it at center ice. Over on the right side, Durrell plays it down into the right corner. Backboard for DeSmet is Brasser. Over the left side board, shot on goal is played up off the glass. Scramble in the right corner for it, and the Pioneers come up with it. Back out to the deep slot, now out near the blue line, and they play it over to the sideboard. Into the corner now, and here's Herwick with it for Kirkwood. To Girl along the right side board. And DeSmet pries it loose and plays it out to center ice where Brendan Moore has the puck. They dump it down into the corner. Pioneers chase back after it. Up to the right side, it goes to Herwick. Now up to the right wing with the puck is Day. Day chases it down to the right corner, tries to center it, and is crashed up against the board. DeSmet gains control and shoots it out to center ice. Back for it is Campbell. He can't get it out of the zone, but Kirkwood recovers and plays it out to center ice. Here's Brasser for DeSmet playing it into the right corner. 7:20 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Kirkwood's had a couple of good chances so far, but no goals have been put into the goal thus far. Here comes DeSmet. Andy McMillan at center ice. Pass across. He's going to get by his man and all the way down behind the goal. And Kirkwood plays it out over the blue line. With a puck is Kiva Gippo at center ice. Shot down into the DeSmet end once again as Bockel comes behind to play it. Now a shot as getting a stick on it was Gippo. Shot it wide into the right corner. Kirkwood holding it in. Now here's a puck loose in front. Shot and a save by Bockel. And DeSmet will come back the other way. 2-on-2 with the puck. It's Andy McMillan. Takes it around his man to the right side. Takes it in on goal and doesn't get a clean shot as getting back to get a stick on it was Reiser for Kirkwood. Puck comes out to center ice and Gippo breaks across the line. Tries to pass across and just fails to connect. Now here's Reiser passing into the right corner. They jam up there. And DeSmet goes back for it. Burgess up along the board. Past his man Wiley, and Kirkwood comes up with it. Shoots it down, past the DeSmet player up against the right corner board. And a big hit behind the goal as Kirkwood trying to throw their weight around a little bit here. Shot and a goal! Come out at the point. No, it's off the post. Looked like it was in from here. But they say no goal. The shot taken from the point by Thawley, and it looked for all the world to me like it was in there, but they say it was off the pipe and not in. Play continues. DeSmet with it behind their goal. Chasing it down is Herwick, trying to center it. He's crashed up against the board. DeSmet now trying to hold it, and we get a whistle. Boy, what do you guys think? It looks good from here.
It looked to me, to the uneducated viewer now, behind, in those nets there's a padding. And if you catch the underside of that pad and you get the pipe, it bounces right back out. And it got underneath there, and referee Jerry Bird, I think, Craig, heard the pipe underneath the padding.
Yeah, that shot out really quick. I got to think it was in the net.
I guess I'll have to wait for the red light to go on from now on.
Let's get the replay rule.
Before I call a goal here. 5:30 to go, first period. Kirkwood wins the faceoff. Shot into the right corner boards, and a couple of players trying to fight for it behind the goal. Chasing it down, it's Herwick for Kirkwood. He gets it out to Thawley. Thawley works around a man up against the left side boards, and DeSmet takes it away from him, and a person of Sam Shapiro. Up it comes to the right side. Stallman dumps it down into the right corner. He's got it again against the boards on the right side. Checked in there by Ian Campbell for Kirkwood, and the Pioneers come up with a loose puck. Up to center ice it goes, where Jones gets it over on the right wing. Now into the middle it comes to Dan Kelly. Kelly looking for a shot. It's blocked, and shooting it down the ice is Herwick for Kirkwood. Back for it is Jones for DeSmet. Plays it up into the middle, where Tegedoff gets a piece of it. Tries to pass across, and Kirkwood intercepts. Along the right side boards, they chase it down into the corner. DeSmet with the puck. Over on the right side, here's Brian Jones. Tries to get it out. Now we might have a breakaway here. On the break, it is Tegedoff. He's all alone. He shoots and a save. Kit Barella with the blocker save. On the breakaway by Tegedoff, and we still have no goals in the game. That was actually a 2-on goalie break there for DeSmet. Big save by Barella. Play at center ice now as DeSmet comes up with a loose puck. Woods shoots it in for the Spartans. And coming back the other way, here's Mark Thawley for the Kirkwood Pioneers. Has to pull up as his man was in ahead of him. Circles around at center ice. Now up it goes to Gippo. Shoots it in, and DeSmet interception sends it back down. Thawley back for it for the Pioneers. 3:39 to go in the first period. Wouldn't you know it, he shoots in a goal, and it's not even a goal first time I try it. Here comes DeSmet. On the left side, Brent Wiley breaks around his man. He's got a shot and a save. Barella with another one. Backhand shot off the side of the net. And Barella covers up for the Pioneers.
Boy, those are big, big saves, considering those are the first two shots Barella's seen in this period. Bachel's getting all the work so far, but the first two shots Kit has to face are difficult shots indeed, Craig.
Yeah, Luke Struckman's opening it up a lot here. Dan Kelly set out very high on that last breakout. He was almost at center ice. And if you want to stop a team from hitting you, you create a lot of space on the ice, and that's what DeSmet's doing. They're spreading their forwards out, and they're bringing them outside the zone. They're going for the 40, 50-foot passes now.
Kirkwood's got to be pleased so far. They are executing their game plan to the letter.
Yeah, they're controlling the puck and the board.
Shots on goal thus far. Kirkwood 8-2 advantage here in the first period. Faceoff goes back into the DeSmet zone. Back for it is Burgess. Bounces it into the center ice area. We're picking it up for Kirkwood is Day. Backhander in. And Backel takes it up and shoots it over to the right sideboard. Out across the blue line. And the referee whistles play down. We're going to have a penalty here. With 3:01 to go in the first period. And going off will be Chad Day on a 2-minute roughing call.
Not a good penalty on Day's part, knocking the skates out of Backel there. What you want to do, and as a coach, and I'm sure Steve McElroy's going to talk to Chad Day about this, you do not want to take a penalty 200 feet from your net. And that was a very bad penalty on Day's part. When Kirkwood's got all the momentum going in their favor, sometimes the power play can swing it right back to DeSmet. We see these shots on goal even up very quickly here.
Kirkwood's original game plan was to try to exploit the defense of DeSmet, and they've been able to execute that so far.
So DeSmet goes on the power play. And Kirkwood will be a man short for 2 minutes. Play it, the puck at center ice as the Spartans come in with it on the right side. Wiley taken up against the boards by Girl. They hold the puck in. Now it's out across the blue line. And DeSmet will have to go back after it. McMillan on the left wing, across to the right side. Over to Tegedoff. Check that. Kelly at the right point for DeSmet. Holds it in, now loses it, and Kirkwood, Craig Herwick comes up with it. Takes it up. He's got a man across the line, and here's a wrist shot and a save as Girl got loose for a nice wrist shot in there, even though Pioneers are a man short. DeSmet not able to get much going on the power play thus far. A minute yet to go in the power play. 2 minutes left to play in the first period. Into the zone, it's Wiley, and he's checked hard up against the board. Now on the right side, here's Kelly. Shot in front and a save by Barella. And he controls the puck before a rebound is given up with a man on the doorstep.
Yeah, DeSmet hasn't had a chance to set up on the power play yet. I think what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to work the puck and try and break the Kirkwood box. Kirkwood's going to stand them up at the blue line. And if you're going to beat them from standing up, you're going to have to dump it in deep, get Kirkwood set up in the box, and then try and beat him with the speed passing. DeSmet very offensive and very good in control of the puck, and I think their passing can break the Kirkwood box.
There's been a couple of instances where the Spartans have had a man open on the off wing, and if they ever catch on to that, they could start springing a few people.
Yeah, Lou Struckman's going to flip-flop his wingers here on an offensive move on the power play. He's got Doug Quinn going to be playing on the left side here, and Quinn's got a deceptive shot. He can snap him off fairly quick.
As important as Herwick can be as far as an unsung hero to Kirkwood, as is the DeSmet captain, Scott Salmon. Lindsey Middlebrook, the DeSmet assistant coach and former professional goaltender, and
people remember him from his days as a Billiken here at St. Louis University, and acknowledged that Salmon is probably the best playmaker on the team. He's very, very key to the Spartans' efforts to win their third championship in a row.
DeSmet with 55 seconds remaining on the power play to control the faceoff. Here's a shot from the left side, and a big save again by Barella off the hard shot by Andy McMillan from the left point.
McMillan put a little chalk on the stick there and keyed one up nice. DeSmet's going to have to send somebody through that box, try and create a little interference there. Don't give the Kirkwood goaltender a 60-foot look at it.
Yeah, Barella saw it all the way, and there was nobody. Give the Kirkwood defense credit. They kept people from getting in front to get a second poke at that.
Dahlman will take the faceoff for DeSmet. He wins it. Goes back to McMillan on the point again. Winds up, doesn't shoot. Over along the left boards to Quinn. Quinn back to McMillan. Looking for somebody in front. Quinn on the left wing. Back to McMillan. He winds up. Shot blocked at the defense. Getting in front of it was Dippo for Kirkwood. Goes into the right corner. DeSmet holding it in. 29 seconds remaining on the power play. A minute 28 to go in the period. Pass out front. And a shot blocked at the defense. Now a loose puck shot and a save. It was Salmon with the shot and Barella with another big save. Down into the corner. Here is Salmon. Backhand pass out in front. Shot and a goal. Kelly with the goal from about 8 feet out in front. Barella had very little chance on that one.
Yeah, Kelly got that puck off his stick real quick. He didn't give the goaltender a chance to move those 4 feet over. It's important that DeSmet is really, they're setting their man up deep, their base man, they're setting him on the goal line, which gives them one more option of walking out in front of the net with the puck. That's got to bring the Kirkwood box in very tight. And when you got a man like Kelly that slips through the middle, can drive the puck at a one time, not much the goaltender can do there.
I was just going to make mention that the Kirkwood discipline and the fundamental coaching that they received was really showing there as Kirkwood stayed well in the box. They did a fine job, but credit Danny Kelly. And
that power play goal scored by number 21, Dan Kelly. Assisted by number 10, Doug Quinn.
And credit Quinn for finding Kelly open.
Kirkwood in with a shot as the scoring play being announced. Making the save for Backel, or was Backel for DeSmet as Kirkwood came in with a nice chance there. So it's a power play goal scored by Dan Kelly. And for those of you who don't know, yes, he is the son of the former great Blues announcer. Minute 4 remaining in the period number 1. Kirkwood with the face-off deep in the DeSmet zone. They win it out of the deep slot. Minute to go in the period, and now DeSmet breaks out, making a move. It's Brendan Moore around the defense, and now the Pioneers take it back away and move back the other way with it. And across the blue line, it's Quint. He's stopped, loses the puck, and the Spartans come back up with it. Along the right side boards, DeSmet tries to get it out of there and cannot. Now they finally do. 35 seconds remaining in the period. 1-0 DeSmet. As the Spartans shoot it deep down behind the Kirkwood goal, and Barella can't quite play it back there, and DeSmet holds it in. It's Moore over to the left side, now getting it in front. Woods, loose puck there for a moment, and dangerously slides across the crease, and Kirkwood fortunate there that more bad things didn't happen to them in that situation. Here's DeSmet with a shot from the point. It's Brasser. Save. Now the rebound shot is shot wide by Woods. They hold it in, and there's the horn to end period number 1. The DeSmet Spartans, 2-time defending champions, have the only goal of the game so far, although we have to say that we called a goal for Kirkwood that turned out not to be one, that rattled off the pipe and looked to be in there for a few moments about halfway through the period. And again, 1-0 our score at the end of the first period.
We'll be looking at the replay of that one for a little while there, Tom. I thought for sure that had gone in, but the light didn't go on, and Gary Burt was right there, and he made the call right away, but there is iron underneath that padding.
Well, we have to say that we've got the off-ice officials that normally work the Blues games here, so they're certainly familiar with the goal crease area down there. Ed March working that goal as we view it, and certainly they know the business.
Yeah, that's got to be a tough call from an angle like that. If I had to bet something money on this one, I'd have to say that puck went in.
Well, from an early advantage of 8-1 shots on goal in favor of Kirkwood, Kirkwood now leads shots on goal 10-9. So DeSmet really coming on strong in the final 4 or 5 minutes of that first period.
Yeah, DeSmet's gonna try and open it up a little bit here. It's gonna be interesting to see if Kirkwood can come out and put some leather on some of these DeSmet players. DeSmet wants to spread it out. And Kirkwood's not opposed to flooding the zone. They're going to try and make DeSmet pass the puck through as many players as they can. And if you'll notice, if you cut the ice off in half, at any one time in the game, it's no mistake to find 4 Kirkwood players on that side.
Well, the second period just about to begin. A few more seconds, and they'll drop the puck. DeSmet leading at 1-0. I'm Tom Calhoun. Ed Overy and Craig Higgs with us here at the arena in St. Louis. 1991 MidStates Club Hockey Association Championship game underway. Nice crowd on hand from both schools. DeSmet with a fine cheering section across the way, and beneath us here, the Kirkwood cheering section has turned out in fine numbers as well. Calling the second period action for you, it'll be Ed Overy. Ed, take it away.
Thank you very much, Tom. DeSmet leads this game 1-0 on a power play goal by Danny Kelly. Play back now for Thawley. Thawley goes up on the board to Reiser. Bothered there by Gippo, who's played together for time immemorial in the Kirkwood program. Tied up there along the boards by Jones. And out of the scrum comes Andy McMillan. McMillan goes cross ice to Shapiro, and he's leveled as Terry Annan really laid into him, and the Big Fin needs to really throw his weight around. He can do it. We've seen him do it before. Play behind the DeSmet goal. Terry Annan, he scores! There it is, Terry Annan on the backhand.
Ed, we've said it 100 times. When you got a man that can deliver a big hit in front of your bench, it's got to fire everybody up. And Terry Annan certainly landscaped that DeSmet player.
Boy, oh boy, Bacco can't be faulted for that. Terry Annan's got a wingspan that you wouldn't believe. And he reached around. He was able to bury it to the left of Scotty Bacco. You know, Tom, you don't want to give up a goal early in the period or late in the period. This might be the thing that really boosts Kirkwood's confidence.
That's for sure, and you got to be impressed with that few seconds of play by Terry Annan. Boy, leveling the DeSmet player, and then following that right up by charging to the goal and getting the backhander in there. Boy, that was impressive.
No surprise McElroy was going to send him out hitting.
Certainly play now behind the zone. That's Burgess with some trouble with the center in front. Bacco got a toe on that. There's Herwick, and we've talked about him before in the middle of things. There's Girl shoving up in the slot, and he's poke checked too well by McMillan. Long shot there by Cross is wide of the mark. Kirkwood trying to keep them plugged in there. That is Reiser, I believe. Cross able to hold it in. Cross still controls. Cross is knocked down there by McMillan. Nothing called. Puck is banged out of the DeSmet zone. Back out to Ian Campbell. They call him Soup. What else? Play now, Ted Day jumps all the way in, a bouncing puck, and Bacco handles that, but the play is offside at the DeSmet blue line. Kirkwood and DeSmet tied 1-1 with 12:35 remaining here in the second period.
Bruce Truckman puts a little gas in his team's tank here, and now they're going out there. They're going to lay some pads on the Kirkwood players. You're right back at square one in this game. Kirkwood goes right back to their game plan, plays a hitting aggressive style, tries to limit the passing lanes for DeSmet, and play the game to their advantage. Play it deep in their zone, make the Spartans go 200 speed.
Gippo out now with Reiser and Terriana. That's their big line. And DeSmet will counter with Salmon, Fogarty, and Danny Kelly. Shapiro now being run, as Shapiro was the one who drew the wrath of Terry Annan right before Terry Annan scored. Center now in front, and that's broken up, and Kelly gives chase, but that's sticked away by Thawley. Salmon's now tied up by Reiser. Play back control there by Erno Terriana, the Finnish import. Tries to go cross-eyes, dangerous pass there. Salmons one-times it and dumps it behind the Kirkwood net where Barilla tries to settle it. There's Salmons in the corner. Looking for Kelly, looking to center, and that was broken up. Wraparound attempt, and Barillo got his pad down on that. And now Terry Annan takes a bit of a run at Salmon, and Erno's into this game physically now, Craig.
Oh, yeah. Erno's going to throw his weight around here, especially when DeSmet's controlling the board deep into the Kirkwood zone. That's a surprise.
Here's Cross now. trying to do something with it, can't do much with it, and he has that out to Brasser for DeSmet, broken up. There's Reiser. Reiser potential 3-on-1. Listen in the day. He's dangerous. He shoots. And Bockel stood him up and took the play against his pads. Nice chance there by Day, who's one of the snipers on this Kirkwood squad. There's Stawley. Sends it back around. Picked up and controlled there by Brasser. Brasser with it still. But it's off of his stick and onto Thawley's stick.
They're going to whistle it down on the late
The
offside.
late offside is the DeSmet club failed to tag.
Now Kirkwood seems like they want to open up play a little bit. They're going to try and make some long passes. They've got a man sitting at the DeSmet blue line on that last break. You know, I don't think Kirkwood can afford to open it up too much. DeSmet's a very fast hockey club. And I think if Kirkwood plays, fits their physical style, controls the boards, they're going to be a lot better off here.
Couple of third lines out there now. Now Struckman will play his third line on a regular basis. Matter of fact, they scored the winning goal in their last two playoff games.
Yeah, Lou likes to get the whole team involved in the game.
Play controlled there, back into the corner to the left of Barillo. There's Patrick now trying to head man up to Neiman. Neiman goes try-side to Kurger, and Kurger's got a chance for a break here. Kurger now looks to center. Can't do much with it as Neiman's knocked down, but Neiman, Pesky goes to side of control. There's Moore now, and he's crunched there by a couple of Pioneer defenders. There's Stawley now, one time up to Neiman. Neiman didn't see it in his skate. And now Thawley lays a check on Tegethoff. Long shots there by Kurger. Bockel handles that off of the bounce, and here's Day. He's dangerous. He has girl in front. Day with a shot. And that's blocked by Luby. Back to center ice, controlled. Ian Campbell dumps it in. Bockel shots it behind the net, plays it up the near boards to Luby. That's broken up, but Luby corrals it. One little move there around Campbell, and here comes Wiley. Brent Wiley's dangerous coming. Millen with him. One man back. And he's broken up in the last second. Barillo, he score! Wiley with the wraparound. And Barillo was waiting, I think, for the pass out, but he got beat on the stuff shot.
I think he had his skates behind the goal line. I think Wiley was standing behind the goal line, just did a spinorama move and stuffed it right home.
Must have lost sight of the puck there for a second because obviously Wiley had the puck checked away from him. And I think Barella must have thought the puck was behind the goal, and before he knew it, it was in behind him.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he was moving to the other side already.
Met up 2-1, and this game really is going as we expected.
Heavy hitting, a lot of skating. The pace is really picking up here. This is going to be a good one.
Kirkwood's hitting like they need to, and the Smets opened up the play. Luby now, and there's a Wiley again with another chance. Wiley still controls, but he is tied up at the last second by Cross and can't get a decent shot off. There's Campbell trying to go through, and there's Herwick. Had a chance, but he got his feet tangled up there with Shapiro. And then Gurl lays a heavy hit on. Here's a 3-on-1 potentially, but that's offside. Day gets it, goes near boards. Day can't control it, but then Campbell rocks McMillan, and back comes Kirkwood. Here's Herwick to the center ice, and he's leveled there.
Getting that life, it pays.
Right in front of Snoopy. Back comes Wiley, and Wiley gets a little bump there. Cross takes it at the red line and dumps it in far corner. Play there. Oh, big hit there by Chad Day, and he's tied up, can't do anything with it. Little flip pass. No one close to call for the fair catch. But Cross will take it behind his net. Cross now looking to break out with Reiser and Kiva Gippo. There's Terry Annan. Controlled by DeSmet and Salmons. Salmons with a one-time off the board. Stawley's there to pick it up. But here comes DeSmet as Quinn had a chance, but wasn't able to convert. Dumped there by Behringer, but that's offside. With 8:04 remaining, DeSmet Spartans lead the Kirkwood Pioneers 2-1.
I think the DeSmet Spartan fans here are starting a migration down here behind Bockel.
I was wondering about that. Wondering what this is all about.
They must be
Suddenly
giving
they're clearing
away.
out a section and sending them down behind the one goal.
Oh, a little fun in the stands here.
It's got to be a big night for these kids here at the arena and all the professional aspects of playing here. Big night for these kids, and it's good to see the turnout, too.
Yeah.
Stays off to the left of Baco. Kippo with a chance, but he's too well checked. And back comes DeSmet. Here's Salmons along with Kelly and Quinn. Salmons with it. They give him a lane, and he goes to center, and it's broken up as Reiser got his stick on that. And Soupy Campbell with a little drill there as he got in with Salmons. And they'd like to go dancing right now.
We might have to send these guys off.
Salmon in a very bad situation there, getting his helmet knocked off.
A little cool down period for Campbell and Salmon here for a couple of minutes.
And you look at the two of them, DeSmet, Salmon, a very offensive player, but you got Campbell as a Kirkwood defenseman. Kirkwood was scoring basically with three defensemen. This has to hurt Kirkwood more than it does DeSmet.
Especially in the fact that DeSmet can throw their three lines. They do it with confidence. And they're more confident because they do get a chance to play a lot more than some other third lines.
Not a bad play by Campbell, though. If he's going to rough it right up in front of the DeSmet bench, get outnumbered, and just prove to him that you're going to stand up to him. The score doesn't matter. Because Kirkwood's going to come out and play their game.
One player got the high stick, the other the rough. Coincidental penalties. Neither team will play short-handed, obviously.
Girl out there now with Chad Day. And on his right wing, Neiman. Cross and Sawley on defense. Cross gets it. Looks to pick up Neiman, and Neiman tries to swing through the defense. There's Tegethoff for DeSmet, dumps it in. And Moore gives chase. He's too well tied up by Cross. Ryan Girl behind his net to Sawley. Mark Sawley. Very steady defender. Looks to find Day, but he can't find him. Stands like Girl shoots one. And Bockel got his left pad down on that and directed it to the corner. Good chance there. Here's Sawley now with Cross. To Neiman, looking to go cross ice. Can't find Day or Girl, but it's headman back up, and Cross controls it there. Potential 3-on-2. Here's Day. Shoots one. And Bockel was away out of the net to cut down the angle and forced Day to shoot wide.
Paulie didn't get up there in time, but if he'd have got up and held that blue line, they had a definite advantage on the two Kirkwood players in deep. DeSmet caught running around. Just an inch off.
They announced 4 minutes for each of the players in the box, so a little bit longer cooling off period than we thought originally.
And that's going to have to hurt Kirkwood now. Those defensemen are going to get tired.
Oh, he just had a chance to see the Lindsay Middlebrook influence with Scott Bockel. Scotty came way out to challenge that shot farther out than I've seen him do it in the past couple of years. And if anybody knew how to play angles, it was Lindsay.
Oh, yeah.
Play now back to center. Little move there by McMillan, who can wheel. He's got Wiley, who's got Lubin. He can't get it across. Solly broke it up. Top for the point. Barillo the save. And he had a little trouble with the rebound as that popped up. Puck back down into the DeSmet zone. They ruled they could have played it, so there's no icing. Terry Annan now with a shot. Wasn't able to get much on that. Back out the center is Herwick as they use Herwick on defense for a while. But here comes Wiley back to the zone to the top of the circle. Wiley to center. Luby in front, and he fired that wide by about 3 feet. There's Gippo picking up Reiser, and Reiser wasn't able to do anything with it. The back comes McMillan, who sticks check with a nice play by Thawley. There's Terry Annan to dump. Played behind the net by Bockel. Up near boards to McMillan. Andy McMillan with a little move, and he's to center. Long shot. Barella got his pad out on that and leaves it for Thawley. Number 22, Mark Thawley now. Looks for Gippo, cleared it but not out. Thawley again. To center across the blue now, the long shot, and that's blocked by Kelly as he got it in the shin of the ankle. There's Reiser behind the net with a chance, shoots one. Bockel the save as he stood his ground. On the point there for Herwick. Herwick with a chance. Shoots one through Mays. And that's blocked in front. And I think it was Wiley who blocked it. Herwick again. Moving in from the point. Looking to center. And he had Girl in front. And Girl couldn't control the pass. Kirkwood with DeSmet bottled up a little bit. The puck bounces back over Herwick. Set up by Barilla. And DeSmet makes a change. Herwick, little trouble as he loses his edge. Leaves it back for Thawley. Thawley goes near boards. And it's cleared out of the Kirkwood zone. Picked by Herwick. Herwick with one touch up to Neiman, and that's just out of his reach. Picked up there, a big bump by Ryan Girl. And that's what he needs to do. There's Kelly, I believe, with a chance. But he has his pocket picked. Back there to Burgess. One times it up for Moore, and corralled by Woods. Got a chance in front, and Barella got his left pad down on that to make a big save as the Kirkwood defense got a little lax. There's Moore looking to center, but nobody home, and Girl just backhands it out of the zone, out of harm's way. 4:12 remaining in the second. DeSmet leads this game 2-1. There's Chad Day trying to make something happen. Neiman risks it for the net, but that's blocked in front by Woods and cleared out of the zone. Cross jumps right back in. Behind the net is Bacco to set it up. Burgess gets run back there. Fogarty around with a big check. The puck is deflected up off of a stick. Behind the net now. Kirkwood tries to center. It ends up on the mesh. Jerry Burt blows the whistle. We'll have a face-off. The lead to the left of DeSmet goaltender Scotty Bacco.
DeSmet's opening up a good flow offense. Bruce Struckman, very offensive coach. He's got his boys flowing. Again, Kirkwood's having a hard time putting the pads on DeSmet now because DeSmet is moving. They're not too concerned about outnumbering or flooding a zone. But they've got a lot of guys driving towards the Kirkwood net, and they're going to try and wear them out.
Well, looks like the DeSmet section migration has been completed. Back behind their goaltender.
Wasn't Ben-Hur on tonight? No, wait a minute. No, the Ten Commandments. Yeah, that's the one I'm
Could
thinking
be
about.
it, yeah.
There's my good Catholic education showing through. I know all the movies. Play now for Wiley. He's a little water bug. Here comes Brent Wiley now. In a goal, and he's pulled down by Herwick. He will get the penalty.
Oh, no doubt about that one. Nice move there by Wiley.
Side saddle suplex here. That's one of those questions, you don't even have to ask the question. You just put your head down straight to the box on something like that. So I'm sure in Herwick's defense, being put back on defense, and when you have a speedy forward coming around you, the last thing you want to do is get embarrassed. I'm sure all that was on his mind was stopping at any cost.
Kirkwood penalty number 2.
At that point, you take the penalty and save the goal and take your chances.
Yeah. You can concede a 2-minute penalty at this time in the game. But, a goal right now would be very demoralizing for the Kirkwood effort.
On the power play for DeSmet, Kelly and McMillan on the point. Cross ice now to McMillan. Breaks one to Barilla. 6 saves to kick that out. There's Day leading him to the puck. Day now for Kirkwood, forechecking Kelly. Kelly on the backhand to center to McMillan. Long shot. And he fires that about 2 feet wide. There's Wiley now trying to make a move, and he gets plucked down by Campbell. Stallman now. The little touch. There's Wiley in front. Barilla the save as he stood him up. Wiley was waiting for Barilla to make a move, and Kit Barilla was able to stay with him and stone him. Girl now pestering McMillan, so McMillan retreats behind his net to set up this power play. 2:42 remaining in the second. DeSmet leads this game 2-1 in the quest for their third high school championship in a row. Salmon now is bothered there by Girl. Centered in front. Thawley will take it. Can't clear it. There's Quinn in front. And Wiley's upended. Shot by Kelly was blocked. Here's Quinn with another chance, and Thawley blocks that. Rings it off the boards and clears past Kelly, who was dropping back down the ice. Bacco wanders from his net to set it up. 36 seconds remaining now in the man advantage. There's Quinn retreating, trying to set this thing up. Quinn drops back for Solomon. Solomon to Wiley. He's pestered there by Terry Annan, who dumps it back down. Boggle behind his net, 16 seconds remaining in the power play. Man loose here on the side of Solomon. And nice work there by Terry Annan on the back check. 5 seconds left in the penalty. A fine job by the Kirkwood penalty killers. They never gave DeSmet a chance to get going on this power play. Back to center now is Terry Annan. On the bank, gave it away on a questionable pass to Kelly in front. And Kelly can't get much of a shot off. I was kind of waiting for him to pass it, but Barillo will go ahead and cradle against the stick and holds it for the face-off with a minute 18 remaining here in the second period.
What a terrific game so far. Each team has had their strong moments in the game, so it's really hard to choose between these two teams at this point, although DeSmet has the advantage on the scoreboard right now by a 2-1 count.
DeSmet certainly going to their skating game here. Kirkwood still trying to play the physical part of it. You notice on that last power play, Luke Struckman very offensive with a European style. He flooded 4 of his DeSmet Spartans on the one side of the ice to try and gain possession deep. And still, Kirkwood stood in there, hung tough, and was able to clear the puck.
Kirkwood now back to even strength. One touch on the board as Campbell tried to find Herdwig breaking loose. But that goes out of his reach. And icing is the call. We'll have the face-off back in the Kirkwood zone to the right of Barella.
You know, an interesting point here. Kirkwood playing a physical game. They're coming into an NHL building. It's hot down there. They're not used to playing in the heat, the noise. You know, you've got a wide open atmosphere here, and that's going to take a lot out of you, especially if you're playing a physical game. The temperature in here has got to be 20, 30 degrees warmer than what they're used to.
For anyone who's played on the arena ice, when it gets warm, it's tough ice to play on. Bockel tries to play it off. One time there for Tegethoff by Moore. But back there is Behringer having a little trouble with it. Intercepted there by Herdwig. Herdwig shoots. And he shot that about a half a mile wide of the net. Campbell dumps it in a long shot.
They're going to blow that one down on delayed offside since they shot the puck at the DeSmet Spartan goaltender. Once again, Kirkwood forces DeSmet to turn the puck over with a big physical play. It's going to be interesting if Tommy Kramer can get his Kirkwood Pioneer defenseman to stand up at the blue line and really force DeSmet to take the puck wide, see if they can wear them out a little bit here. Force them down deep into the corners, let the big physical defenseman of Kirkwood play the game, then try and move the puck out.
This game, the final, of course, of the tournament, and DeSmet and Kirkwood have been here before. We should mention the final standings in the various divisions in the league. Granite City winning the North Division with 20 points, CBC the West with 19, Kirkwood in the South with 24, the Parkway Central in the Central Division with 24 led the way in the regular season.
Cross-ice pass dangerous there as Wiley tries to pick it up, but it's controlled by Campbell. Campbell's got some room. Goes the headman to Reiser, and that's out of his reach. There's McMillan now playing back on defense. It's broken up by Terry Annan. He's dangerous, but that shot is deflected. McMullen, upset with himself, gave it away to Terry Annan, and you can't give Erno any kind of a chance because he'll bury it.
Yeah, you cough the puck up deep in your zone as a big guy, and he's got so many assets to it, the way he plays the game. He can pass the puck, he can shoot the puck, and he's very deceptive with the upper body, you know, and the reach he's got. He's able to make some moves around people. He's got a quick release on that shot, too, and right now he's lined back up in the shotgun formation here, so they might try and pull it back in for a quick one off the draw.
Taking a page out of Brian Sutter's book. 24 seconds remaining in the period. Kirkwood scored early in this period, and they'd like to duplicate the feed here late in the second.
DeSmet's going to line up a wide guy, too. They may be going for a bomb themselves.
Going for the Hail Mary. There's Gippo. That was able to center it, but that was broken up. Carley back with 16 seconds. Contenza dump it to the corner. There's Shapiro, but then it's controlled by McMillan. And that's a dangerous pass through the center. With 5 seconds remaining, McMillan on the long way back. That shot is stopped by Barilla. And Salmon with a chance, but the whistle sounds to end the second period. and they will resurface the ice here at the arena between the second and third period.
Second period, Kirkwood.
No surprise here, Ed. We pictured the game as about an even game through the first two periods. With the third period, one of these two clubs is going to open up, and their style of play is going to definitely dominate in the third period.
So the teams go off, and they'll get a bit of a breather as the Zamboni will come out. Slicking things back up for period number 3. The all-important final period of the night. DeSmet leading now 2-1. I mentioned those standings, those final standings a little while ago. The points I mentioned were in the division. Overall league points, Granite City was top in the North Division with 23. CBC in the West with 36. Kirkwood league points 36 in the South, and in the Central Division, Parkway Central tying with Parkway South with 33 league points in the regular season. Of course, as in most playoff situations, most teams point to the playoffs, and of course, Kirkwood and DeSmet have done the job to get here to the championship game.
Well, we'll take a brief break here as they resurface the ice between the second and the third period. The DeSmet Spartans, in the quest for their third championship in a row, lead the Kirkwood Pioneers 2-1. We'll be right back after this short break. The final 14 minutes of the high
The
school
MidStates
hockey
High School Hockey League will have a season-ending senior all-star game at Afton Ice
Front of our eyes
Rink Sunday,
tonight,
March
a lot of
3rd
these
at
players
6:30. Tickets are $2 at the door.
their careers.
Souvenir programs
Several
are
hang 'em up
available
after
with
this
all
one.
26 varsity
Boy,
and
Craig
13
didn't ask
junior
for
varsity
a
hockey team
better
pictures.
game tonight.
It also
2-1.
features the cheerleaders plus the league
Yeah,
standings
for
and
DeSmet,
much more.
gunning
The
for the
price
third
is
in a row.
$2.
And
Just a
of
reminder,
course,
no
this
students
game
are
now without a
allowed in
little
the
bit of
parquet
controversy.
seating area.
Yeah,
Student seating
Foley's
is in
got
the yellow arena circle
Of course,
seats. Anyone
here in the
standing,
press box,
jumping,
we
or
have to see
misusing the
the
seats
look
will
at
be
the goal
removed
again.
from the arena.
Our
Thank you for
opinion,
your
no
cooperation.
doubt in our
And don't
minds,
forget,
the puck
tomorrow
is
night
definitely
here at the
in
arena, the St. Louis Blues will host the New York Rangers. Face off
The puck came out quick.
7:35.
It was picked up by the DeSmet Spartans right at the post. Bert probably didn't realize that it had gone in the net and come around.
you know, Dan, one of the things that I noticed is that in the replay we watched was the goaltender's reaction. Backel seemed to know it was in. He reacted as if the puck had gotten by him.
The players on the ice seem to realize it was a goal from their reactions. But Jerry Burt was in position. So was the goal judge. So how do you figure?
Slow on the trigger.
Here we go. Third period underway. Shots dead even as the third period begins, 17 apiece. It is Kirkwood forcing the action into the DeSmet end as the period begins. Spartans try to get it out, and at center ice it is Quinn with the puck. Doug Quinn along the right side boards. Now a pass into the middle. Gets by Kelly into the left corner, I should say. And coming up with a loose puck, it's Spaulding on defense for Kirkwood. He moves it up ice, across the line. Now to center ice to Reiser. Reiser tries to break in, has Terry Annan with him. And DeSmet takes over as the puck comes loose. Out of his own zone is Salmon with it for DeSmet. They lead it 2-1, 13-15 remaining in this one. As Kirkwood controls behind their own net. Poke check there on the play by Salmon. But the Pioneers recover. Now it comes loose. Out high in the slot. Long shot taken by Shapiro. And it's blocked at the defense, and the puck comes out into the center ice area. Here comes Kirkwood with it. Reiser on the right wing. He dumps it in, and the lines will change for both teams. Spartans have it in their own zone. Pass out in the middle. Intercepted, and taking it in is Herwick, and he goes down. Apparently a trip, but no whistle there. Puck up against the sideboards, and Kirkwood clears it across their own zone. The DeSmet zone, and now the Spartans clear it out along the right side boards. With it at center ice, it's Crawley. He dumps it in. Spartans back for it behind their own goal. Big check behind the goal as over on the right wing boards with it. It is Luby. Luby out to the blue line and losing an edge and going down with it is Wiley. But he still manages to get it to the Kirkwood end. Puck shot up the ice. DeSmet goaltender Scott Backel shoots it out. Now Kirkwood intercepts. Back behind his own goal, it's Andy McMillan for the Spartans. Works around a man, up to the blue line, into the center ice area. Still with the puck, it is McMillan. Now checked away at the blue line. Now here's a big hit along the side by Herwick on Wiley for DeSmet. As Kirkwood comes back into their into the DeSmet zone with it. It's Day around behind the goal. Puck comes loose, and McMillan takes charge for DeSmet at his own blue line. Pass up into the center ice area to Wiley, intercepted by Girl. Girl with a pass into the middle to Day. But DeSmet comes up with a loose puck, and with it here comes Wiley. Wiley across the blue line, around defense. He's in on goal. He shoots. He scores! What an individual play there by Brett Wiley, taking it around the Kirkwood defense, in on goal, and beating Kit Perella to put DeSmet up 3-1.
Yeah, he turned on the Jets there. Heads-up hockey play. One-on-one move. The defenseman has to stay between the puck carrier and the goal, and right there he turned on the speed and went right around him. Wiley showing good puck control too. Took it to his short side, forehand side, and put it right past the Kirkwood goaltender.
In addition to that, Wiley shows a lot of courage there. He got ran a couple times during that shift. And I thought more than one instance he was going to come off the ice.
Yeah, he took another big check right in front of the Kirkwood bench. Possibly if DeSmet wouldn't have scored there, that check in front of the Kirkwood bench would have got them even more fired up.
Burgess gets the assist on the play at 11:18 of the period, remaining in the period. Wiley's second goal of the game, and DeSmet up now 3-1. Here come the Spartans. Moore trying to break in, knocked away from him, but they maintain possession in the Kirkwood end. Now the Pioneers come up with it, up along the left or right side boards. Now checked back into the corner by the Spartans. Players flying all over the place on the ice here at the moment. Things get a little ragged back there in the Kirkwood end. Puck comes loose, and the Pioneers break out with it. It is Gippo up the left wing. Pass into the zone. Zippo gets it back. Wrist shot, and it's grabbed and held onto by Bockel for DeSmet, and we'll have a face-off in the Spartan end.
We got a little stick play going on out there behind the zone there. I think Kirkwood's going to have to send a message now. They're going to have to get back in the game. This next goal is going to be very important. It's got to come in Kirkwood's favor.
McMillan, more known for his offensive prowess, has seen a lot of time on the back line tonight.
Yeah. He can handle the puck, too.
Earl will work the face-off for Kirkwood, and Salmon for DeSmet, and the Spartans get the puck. Take it back behind their goal. Now try to work it out. Here is Quinn on the right side boards. Can't get it out of there. Shot back in behind the goal by Kirkwood. And being taken down in the corner is a Kirkwood player. We're going to have a whistle and a holding call coming up against DeSmet.
That's Herwick. We've talked about him before. He makes things happen.
He gets his nose into the play quite often. He's a lot like Chittenden was in the last game we saw tonight. He's all over the puck, and he's not intimidated by the physical play in the game.
Herwick was in there deep. Brasser couldn't do anything with him, so he tackled him down, and he'll go off for 2 minutes. So Kirkwood goes on the power play.
Penalty number 14.
Important opportunity here for the Pioneers, who are down 3-1.
10-22.
Need to take advantage of this power play to
10-22.
get themselves back into it, but DeSmet wins the face-off and shoots it down. Back after it, it's Mark Thawley. He'll quarterback the power play. Up along the left side boards, it's Herwick with it. Across the red line. Dumps it in. And they'll chase in after it. Bockel plays it around the boards, but the Pioneers come up with it. They center it behind the goal. Now back out on the left wing, it's Gippo. Gippo into the middle. He's got Girl there. Girl back to the deep slot. Shot in is blocked at the defense. Now back out to Thawley. He loses his stick, chases it up against the sideboard. Now Girl after it in the corner. Kelly has it for a moment for DeSmet, taken away by Herwick. And out to the point. Now DeSmet comes up with it, and they get it out barely. Now shoot at the length of the ice. Minute 4 remaining in the Kirkwood power play. 9:24 in the third period. Back setting up again. Here is Kirkwood's Herwick. Checked away from him by Wiley. Wiley's got 2 goals in the game and now is drilled back there by Gippo as Wiley tried to break in again, but Gippo said no way. Now Kirkwood, an errant pass as they break out of their own zone. DeSmet comes up with a loose puck, and it'll be Jason Burgess shooting it down. Now 33 seconds remaining in the power play for the Pioneers. Haven't done a whole lot with it so far. Out it comes to Herwick at his own blue line. He wheels, gets it over to Terry Annan. He breaks in, tries to move around the defense. He does so, centers it. Shot and a save by Bockel. As a weak shot was taken there by Ryan Jackson, or I should say Herwick, who came in and tried to get away a decent shot after a nice move there by Terry Annan to set him up in front.
Yeah, and Kirkwood's been very ineffective here on their power play with just 17 seconds left on it. Things should be going into DeSmet's favor right now. Of course, when they get back to even strength, I think Kirkwood's even going to have to pick up the tempo more. They're going to have to play a dump and chase game, try and contain DeSmet into their end of the ice.
Thuriger will take the face-off for Kirkwood. He wins it. Here's a shot and a goal! Kiva Gippo. As Thuriger won the draw, Gippo stepped right up and blasted it right past Scott Bockel, and right there is what Kirkwood needed, the power play goal.
Yeah, Kirkwood very ineffective. They get one shot with 14 seconds left in the power play, and they bury it home.
And who gets the draw? Third line center.
You got to give your hats off to McElroy. You know, and we hate to stress this time after time, but he's a very fundamental coach. These kids practice taking face-offs. They practice pulling the puck back. You know, in the games before, Ed, when we watched them, we watched Kirkwood sweep off the face-off. We watched him pull a trigger play. Now they pull a deep trigger play.
Kirkwood power play goal scored by number 17.
You know, this Kirkwood
Kiva
squad,
Gippo.
if anything,
Assisted
they're
by
really
number
quite a
15,
profiling
Nick
courage. Ben
Reiser.
Cross out there on
Time of the
defense is
goal,
playing with a broken
8:36.
thumb tonight. You
Kirkwood
notice
power play
when they
goal,
get a
Gippo
look
from
on him, he's
Reiser
got
at
two
36.
gloves on.
There's a dangerous opportunity for Kirkwood, and DeSmet knocks it away as play resumes. 8:20 remaining in the third period. What a dandy we got now. DeSmet up by a goal, 3-2. Here's Kirkwood holding it into the blue line with a puck. It is Cross. Tries to center it, knocked away, and almost breaking out of there were the Spartans as Moore had a man at center ice, and I believe that was Brasser who almost had himself a breakaway, but they couldn't get the pass to it.
What a break there for Kirkwood.
Yeah, he took a good baseball shot at that. Luckily, he got his stick on the puck and stopped DeSmet from taking that long 60, 70-foot pass there for a clear-cut breakaway.
It'll be a face-off in the Kirkwood end. 8:05 to go. 3-2 DeSmet. And we'll point up once again that our replay seems to indicate that Kirkwood should have had a goal in the first period, but it was not given to them. A controversial play in the first period will perhaps haunt Kirkwood unless they're able to score here and tie it up. They try to break into the DeSmet zone up along the left wing board, trying to center it back there. It's Gippo, or Terry Annan, but it's whistled down as Bockel holds on to the puck next to the goal. 7:49 remaining now in the third period.
That goal really pumped a lot of life into this Kirkwood lineup, Fred.
It's going to stop Kirkwood. Before they would have to force their defenseman at the blue line to hold it, and they're going to have to pin. Now they can hold back a little bit. They don't have to pin till about 2, maybe 3 minutes left in the game. A lot more advantage to that style.
DeSmet wins the face-off in their own end. Shoot it out over the blue line. They get it up to Kelly, who can't quite reel it in at center ice. Now Kirkwood coming back the other way. It's Reiser in over the blue line on the right side. Now a scramble for it. Reiser comes out of the crowd. Here's a pass over to Terry Annan on the left side. Works around Shapiro. Pass in front. Loose puck, and Bockel covers up. Dangerous situation there.
That was a free piece of meat sitting right there in front of a pack of dogs. They went after it.
They opened that up to a KOA campground. Everybody was in there.
So Kirkwood obviously heartened by that last power play goal. They really had the pressure on the Spartans here, who are trying to protect the lead. 23-18 now. Kirkwood leading in shots on goal. Gippo will take the draw for Kirkwood. Wiley for DeSmet. 7:23 remaining.
What a roller coaster of the night so far, Tom.
It's been something.
Plays really shifted back and forth. You can break it down into segments.
DeSmet winning the draw, but they don't get it out. Shot from the point and a save by Bockel. on the Campbell shot. Campbell from the right point. Didn't have many people in front of the goal, and Bacco got a good look at it.
Kirkwood's trying to run some plays off the face-offs here. They got Terry on in a left-handed shot, but they got him playing back in a trigger position.
There's the face-off won by DeSmet. They shoot it out past the point man and down the ice. No icing to be called here. As Raleigh goes back for it for Kirkwood. Wiley intercepts out on the left wing, tries to work around a man, and he's checked down. Kirkwood breaks out with it. Gippo around the defense. Up to Terrianen. Behind the goal. Centers it out, and it's deflected away. Now a shot from the right side is stopped at the defense by Gippo, and now it's in the right corner with a battle for it. DeSmet shoots it around behind the goal around the board. 6:45 remaining in the third period. Kirkwood keeps it in. Shot across to Gippo, and he almost was able to set up in front. Centers it, and it's knocked away. DeSmet having trouble in their own end right now, and they can't get it out again. Now on the left wing here, it's McMillan. Finally shooting it out to Wiley near the red line. Wiley breaks in on the right wing, has a man with him, 2-on-2. Here's a shot and a save by Barella on the shot by Luby. Now back out to Wiley, and it comes out of the zone. The puck at center ice. Behringer over for DeSmet with it. Now it's Thawley for Kirkwood. Can't get it in at the blue line. Over for it is Tegedoff. He'll shoot it down for DeSmet. And a whistle stops play with 6 minutes to go in the third period. DeSmet 3 and Kirkwood 2. Icing, and the face-off will be in front of DeSmet goalie Scott Bacco.
Kirkwood Pioneers are definitely holding the blue line, keeping DeSmet Spartans pinned up in their zone this period.
No, Craig, we haven't seen much of Chad Day tonight, and I got a feeling before this night is over, we got 6 minutes remaining here in the game. I got a feeling we're going to hear something from Mr. Day before this evening's out.
He's set up for a sweep right here.
There's the face-off, won by DeSmet, but Kirkwood holds it in, putting it into the corner. It's Campbell. Over for it, Kerwick. Back out to Campbell at the left point. Shot in behind the goal to Day. Day has it knocked away by Behringer, and he'll clear it out of there and down the ice once again. Kirkwood chases after it. No icing here. As Kirkwood shoots it out to center ice. Off the stick of Burgess and back down into the DeSmet zone. Chasing in after it is Day. Takes his man up against the boards as the puck comes out along the left side. Boards and out of the zone. Kirkwood shoots it back in. They'll have to clear their men out of there. Now they're onside as back forward is Burgess for DeSmet. He'll shoot it up across the blue line. And here we have a 3-on-1 break for DeSmet. On the left side, Moore centers it. Oh, and it gets right through his man over there. Number 24, Jeff Tegedoff, couldn't quite corral the puck for the shot. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Tegedoff breaks in on the right side, centers it, and a great defensive play by Thawley to stop the shot from Wood. Now Kirkwood with a puck at center ice. Across the DeSmet blue line, they'll shoot it back out to the center ice area. Battle for it along the boards in front of the player benches. Now the Pioneers get it in as Herwick does the honors on the right side. Now here's a loose puck. Chasing after it, Thawley. Loose puck comes underneath him. And Scott Salmon was looking for the loose puck for DeSmet. Thawley winds up on top of it. Play is whistled down with 4:35 remaining.
I think it's very important here that Kirkwood doesn't try to force too much. Don't overcommit. He's got a lot of time left on the clock, Ed. You know, you don't have to tie it all up in one bundle here. You can afford to sit back. About when the last 2 minutes of this period starts, then Kirkwood's going to have to really force. They're going to be really aggressive.
You know, Mark Thawley showed right there why his coaching staff thinks so highly of him. Very smart play on his part. He got caught flat-footed, was able to recover, and made a very, very smart play.
He landed on the grenade.
Kirkwood wins the face-off in behind goalie Barella, but DeSmet chases it down in the corner to Kelly. He's working by himself in behind the goal right now. Now they chase in after him. And the Pioneers, Ian Campbell shoots it over to the left side board. But holding it in there, it's Salmon for DeSmet. Loose puck, Salmon chases it down, breaks in on goal, centers it. Nobody there. But Reiser can't get it out for Kirkwood as DeSmet applies some pressure. Loose puck with a puck and shooting it over the top is Dan Kelly as Quinn centered it to him. Kelly had the open net and shot it high.
Nice extra point attempt there.
Yeah, made it through the upright.
He got it up and got it up quick. Put it right up into his homestand crowd.
Stays with Jim Bakken.
Yeah, he had a wedge out there. That's a big break for Kirkwood. Sometimes a missed opportunity, a very good scoring chance for one club, a big hit, anything that can change the tide in the game.
4:03 remaining here in the third period. 3-2 DeSmet. They take the puck after controlling the face-off, shoot it down in behind the Kirkwood goal. Crawley backboard for the Pioneers, shoots it out, but not out of the zone as Wiley comes up with a loose puck. Almost made a move around a man and setting himself up again, going for the 3-goal hat trick tonight is Wiley for DeSmet. He's got 2 of the DeSmet 3 markers. Now into the DeSmet zone. Here's Kirkwood. It's Campbell shooting it in behind the goal. Shapiro back for DeSmet, and they'll get it out across the line to the center ice area. Kirkwood running out of time, looking for that tying goal. 3:20 remaining. Holding it in, it is Herwick on the right side. Shoots it into the middle, but the DeSmet defense is there. Wiley comes up with a loose puck at center ice. Across the line, playing the man is Campbell, and the puck comes loose. Kirkwood comes up with it. And they'll shoot it down. This will be an icing call. And with 3:03 remaining, the puck will be brought back down into the Kirkwood end for the faceoff.
Now it's going to be interesting to see how much Coach McElroy sets back. Is he going to gamble with his defensemen, pinch everybody in deep, and hope that the speed of DeSmet Spartans doesn't get behind him here? DeSmet, on the other hand, a free dump and any opportunity could lead to a breakaway.
This could very well be Cross's, possibly this could be Cross's last shift. He's been able to do it defensively, but he can't shoot with his hand in a cast. So this could very well, he'll spell it for maybe a minute, 45 seconds, and you'll probably see Earl and a few other guys play that point and the defense for Kirkwood.
Kirkwood controls after the faceoff. DeSmet holds it in for the moment, but here comes Gippo with it at center ice. It comes to Terry Annan, breaks into the left side, he shoots and he scores! Terry Annan took the feed from Gippo, works over to the right side, broke in on goal and beats Bockel, and ties this game up at 3 with 2:51 remaining.
I was just talking about Kirkwood not getting caught up pinching in the long bomb, and here DeSmet gets caught up in the same style play. I'll tell you what, Ed, I'm glad we don't have to pay for parking by the hour here, because the way these high school playoffs have been going, this could go a little bit further than what we anticipated.
Could be a long night. And Craig, just the other night we were talking about plays as far as tough shots from a goaltender's point of view. And as far as the goaltender's concerned, that shot, that move where you break around on the inside, if you're unmolested, boy, the goaler's got to make a move, and you leave all 5 spots open. As far as the forward's concerned, that is just the ideal shot, because the goaltender's committed, he's moving across. You have the 5-hole open. You have, both low corners, both high corners open for you, and Terry Annan just snuck it in under Bockel's outstretched arm.
So it's all knotted at 3. Now here comes Kelly on a breakaway for DeSmet, taken down, and we've got a penalty coming up against Kirkwood, seemingly out of nowhere. Kelly broke in for DeSmet, is taken down, and it'll be a Kirkwood penalty. Going off will be Cross for the Pioneers, and this will be a DeSmet power play.
Well, now this really ties things up here for the Kirkwood Pioneers. You got momentum going in your favor. A few seconds later, you take a costly penalty, but he took a good penalty. A scoring opportunity, you want to take a penalty in your zone. If you take a penalty in a neutral or offensive zone late in a game like this, then you're making a mistake. If you take a penalty in your own zone, a definite scoring opportunity, that's one of the things that the club's going to have to live with.
Power play goal early in the game. Dan Kelly put one in for DeSmet.
Number 16, Adam
Here's the face-off.
Time of the penalty, 2:42.
DeSmet trying to hold it in. They do so on the right side. Into the left corner after it is Quinn for DeSmet. Guys up there with Campbell. Coming up with it on the left side, it's Salmon. Salmon working in behind the Kirkwood goal. Looks to center. He does. Past his man. And getting it for Kirkwood is Terry Annan and shooting it down the ice. 2:20 remaining in the period. A minute 35 in the Kirkwood check at the DeSmet power play. Here comes the Spartans. Andy McMillan across the line. His shot deflected away, but he keeps it in at the left point. Looks across the centers it to Wiley, who can't one-time it, can't connect on it, and it goes into the corner. DeSmet, however, holds it in. Out to the point, past his man and back down the ice. The centering pass from Salmon missed Kelly at the point. Here's Kelly back in his own zone. Puck knocked away. After it is Gippo for Kirkwood. He has a man in front. Terry Annan shoots. He scores! Oh my! Short-handed goal with 1:41 to go in the third.
DeSmet gets a little carried away there. They're going to warn the Kirkwood team about coming off the bench and celebrating here. But there's still 59 seconds left on the Kirkwood penalty. What a big goal.
The people we had always talked about, Kiva Gippo and Terry Annan, just took matters in their own hands. As soon as the puck was dropped in there, you could see, you could almost sense the way they were forechecking. They're very aggressive on the forecheck. And as soon as Terry Annan had it on his stick, man, with that kid's reach, you knew something was bound to happen, and he was able to outmaneuver the DeSmet defender.
That's the case where you got DeSmet, all their forwards caught up ice, 2 men back, and when you got the big guys wheeling with the puck, anything's going to happen. He made a nifty pass out front. He just parked it right in the net.
Terry Annan with the hat trick for Kirkwood on that one. The short-handed goal makes it a Kirkwood 4-3 lead with a minute 41 to go in the third period. Remember, 59 seconds remain in the Kirkwood penalty. The puck shot into the Pioneer end. Herwick out to the blue line, kept in there by DeSmet. Shot by Kelly is blocked away to the left side as McMillan held it in at the blue line. Minute 26 to go in the game. Shot out to center ice by Kirkwood. Now 40 seconds remaining in the penalty. Now Kirkwood shoots it down. They smell victory here all of a sudden, as it didn't look good a couple of minutes ago for the Pioneers. Here comes Andy McMillan for DeSmet. He works around the defense, shoots from the left side high, and it's blocked away by Barella. Behind the goal now, shot out in front. Oh, what a save by Barella! Out in front, the loose puck and a scramble.
Here we got
a boy, he's got a scramble in the crease. But the red light has not gone on.
Not a bad play by Kirkwood. Anytime you're late in the game, the puck's in your crease, it looks like it could possibly streak over the line, send everybody in, kick the net off, make a big pile up. The referee has no idea whether the puck went in on its own, the pile took it in, anything. Kirkwood's going to scream. They want this face-off outside. The Smith Spartans defensemen, once they come in past the top of the circle, it's going to force a face-off out.
You know, Dan Kelly came awful close to drawing a roughing penalty there. He was really aggressive with the fist and the elbows, and that is something that Struckman does not want to see. He does not want to have Kelly off the ice. He's much, much too valuable as far as a scoring threat.
Well, I think that Kirkwood's got a legitimate argument here, trying to get the face-off moved out, but Darryl Burt's not going to let him.
15 seconds to go on the Kirkwood penalty. The puck will be dropped to the right, second to the left of Kit Barella in the right face-off circle.
I think once they get Cross out of the box, they're probably going to get him off as soon as they can. He's hampered by that cast in the hand and the glove, and not much time left. But man, you cannot count the DeSmet Spartans out there. Just too potent offensively.
Yeah, and right here you got the DeSmet Spartans. They pulled their goaltender. Kirkwood does not have enough men to cover everybody, so they're going to give up possession. Salmon can pull that puck over to the boards. DeSmet will definitely have possession deep in the Kirkwood zone.
Herwick will take the draw for Kirkwood.
Yeah, but looks like Herwick and Thawley back on D and Terry Annan, so they've got their best players out there now to kill this thing.
Salmon on the face-off for DeSmet, and he wins it. Over to the right side boards, back out to the point by the man, and back into the DeSmet, and the goal is empty. Terry Annan in after it, he shoots, he scores! Terry Annan with his 4th goal of the game makes it 5-3 Kirkwood with 49 seconds remaining.
I had a chance to talk to Greg Griffin at their practice the other afternoon, and he is telling me that when Erno came into the program, he was very, very quiet, very, very subdued. And he said the last 2 weeks, Erno has been a ball of fire. He is really pumped up about this. He knows what high school hockey's all about here in St. Louis, and specifically Kirkwood hockey, because as you can see here, there are a lot of people. I've met a lot of people tonight that I played high school hockey against who played for Kirkwood, and that's a long, long time ago, and you just don't see that kind of commitment from a lot of schools.
They definitely got their following fired up here.
Well, Lindsey Middlebrook's prophecy looked to be coming true tonight. He predicted a 2-goal game, 5-3 or 6-4. And right now, we stand at Kirkwood Pioneers 5, the DeSmet Spartans 3, and DeSmet's chance of scoring the hat trick are dwindling by the second.
42 seconds remaining. The Kirkwood penalty now expires, and the player comes back on. How about that? 2 men short there with the goaltender pulled, and Terry Annan still scores the 5th goal for Kirkwood. 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd period as Kirkwood gets it out of their own zone. DeSmet goalie Scott Bockel, of course, back in as the Spartans try to come up with a loose puck in their own end. Woods out across the line into the center ice area. Loose puck will go down deep behind the Kirkwood goal. 10 seconds remaining. This is going to be a Kirkwood victory, but there's a whistle with 6 seconds remaining in the game. 5-3. What a 3rd period, and what a final 5 minutes of the 3rd period by the Pioneers.
Unbelievable. The Pioneers came out, stuck to their hitting game, didn't rush, didn't fall into a panic, sat back and let somebody put DeSterno under Erno here late in the game, and he caught fire. He's just driving it into the net.
Well, it's very, very tight. Not that DeSmet has had such an outstanding record, but it is very, very tough to three-peat here. As everybody knows, the 49ers found it wasn't as easy a task as everybody had anticipated.
There's the face-off. Kirkwood shoots it down. That should do it. 3, 2, 1. The game is over. Kirkwood Pioneers 5-3. They are the champions of the MidStates Club Hockey Association for 1991.
What an outstanding record. Kirkwood's been to the final 5 times now. They have never finished second. They have taken the prize every time they've come into the championship game.
Coach Steve McElroy and all the assistant coaches, cheerleaders, everybody on the ice celebrating right now. Sticks, helmets, gloves everywhere.
And of course, Greg Griffin, if Jack can get a picture of that, Greg Griffin, who was disabled by a skiing accident, he had some major, major surgery on his knee. And Cookie is being escorted on a chair. There's a sight for you.
Now he's rolling it with the
Now
crutches.
he's rolling with his crutches.
And of course, DeSmet, they could hardly be more distraught over the way the final half of that 3rd period went, as Terry Annan for Kirkwood just took charge of the game, scores the game's final 3 goals. The first goal of the 3rd period for Terry Annan coming at the 11:09 mark. Then again, shorthanded with 1:41 remaining, and of course the shorthanded empty net goal with 49 seconds to go.
Steve McElroy has said for the past couple of weeks during these playoffs, his team had been kind of difficult to figure out. He didn't know what team was going to show up. The game Friday night was similar to the team that showed up tonight, the team that was hitting, that was bumping, that was forechecking aggressively. Then the game last Saturday night against CBC was similar to the team that we saw play Parkway South. It was really a mystery to him, but he said the team was not distraught. They were very, very focused. They knew what they wanted to do. They knew how they needed to do it, and a very, very and an outstanding effort. And as we mentioned, Ben, we mentioned Cross is playing with a cast on his hand. You can see it. I think he still has the glove taped to his hand, but Ryan Girl was playing with the with a pinky finger smash. He suffered an injury in the last game against CBC. And if anything else, boy, the Kirkwood Pioneers really gutted this one out. They were hurting, they were limping. They played their game, they stuck to their game plan, and boy, what an outstanding effort.
Well, they were my pregame pick. If they came out and hit and did the fundamental things right, which in the third period, it didn't look like things were going to go their way. All of a sudden, bam, like a turn of a clock, there's consistency right back on their side, and they're putting the puck in the net. They just completely caught Scott Bacco off guard there. They pummeled some shots late in the game.
A real tribute to the fundamental coaching by the staff. Tom Kramer, known for his style of physical play, and Steve McElroy for his stressing fundamentals. Kirkwood squad that we've seen in a couple of games use the backhand more extensively, the backhand pass more extensively and more successfully than any other team I've seen play high school hockey in recent years.
Well, the first game you had Chittenden, and now this game you had Terrianen. Both exchange students, both with the European influence, both very skilled in fundamentals, and it showed tonight. Both men controlled their respective games.
And really, Terrianen playing the North American style. He bumped a lot tonight. He used his size and his wingspan to his advantage.
He's a hitter.
You shouldn't lose in this game. The outstanding game by Brent Wiley of DeSmet as well. He had a couple of goals, threatened a couple more times when it appeared DeSmet was in charge of this game when they were leading 3-1. He came close another time to making it 4-1, and that might have put Kirkwood in a position they couldn't recover from. But of course, Kirkwood scoring the final 4 goals of this game to pull out the championship 5-3 here at the arena. A thrilling night for the Kirkwood parents, players, coaches, and boosters.
Well, Kirkwood Pioneers knew all along. They've seen enough of Brent Wiley in the past 2 years to know what he can do, and they knew that they could not take him lightly, and they had to bump him every chance they got, and they did it. And he still got through with to become a factor in the game.
Yeah, my hat's got to go off to him. He took a lot of big, heavy hits, didn't give up. He's not that big of a physically. He took some hits from some big guys like Foley, Terrianen, Chad Day. They were taking some shots at him, and he just held right in there. Did not waver from his game plan, and I think that Lou Struckman's got to be very happy with the way the Smith Spartans came out and adjusted to the physical style play of the Kirkwood Pioneers.
Some of the coaches who played against Wiley said that, well, yeah, you try to hit Wiley, but it's very hard to hit him without committing a penalty because he's got such a very low center of gravity. He scoots around. He's very, very quick, very good
for the Kirkwood Pioneers.
Acceleration. And in order to get him, you have to get him an open ice, and you have to hit him solid. He's very hard to knock off his feet.
Harold Snaps of the Blues, the outstanding defenseman, handing the first place plaque to the Pioneers and their captains out there at center ice now. Posing for photos. Well, I've enjoyed being here with you fellows tonight. Thanks again to the MidStates Club Hockey Association for the invitation to be here on the telecast, and enjoyed being with you, Ed, and you, Craig, and admire you guys in that you have the time and obviously the
Kirkwood coach
ability
Steve
to
McElroy.
see a lot of these high school games, something I've enjoyed very much tonight.
Well, thanks a lot for coming. It's been an excellent night, and we couldn't have asked for you to show up at a better hockey game than what we saw right here. This was one
and
of
the
the
winner of the
better games we've seen all
1991
year.
St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup, the Kirkwood Pioneers.
I'll get back to the business of getting goals for the Blues for the rest of the season and announcing them on the old PA system here. I enjoy the heck out of that, of course. And got the Rangers here tomorrow night, and we'll be back at it, hopefully announcing more goals for the good guys than the visitors. That's something I've been doing for about 5 years and enjoy that very much.
We like hearing your voice.
Like to hear your voice sometime in May, Tom.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Late May, preferably.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be opportune.
I guess you don't have to practice Brett Holt too much, huh?
That I think I've got down by now, yeah.
These are always the fun pictures they're taking now, the ones where the guys can just sprawl out.
Now, these are moments that kids will remember for a long, long time, and ones that parents I being the parent of a couple of boys myself, I know how a parent of one of these kids must feel at the moment. Very cherished moments in the lives of these young people.
Yeah, you can just see the enthusiasm on their face. After you scored a big victory, these guys are pumped up to the fact, and they have that look in their eye of total enjoyment. These are the types of pictures, when you hang them on the wall, the team photos of everybody's stages, they sit down next to each other, everybody's got their hands folded the same way. These are the ones that bring back the memories.
And of course, as we mentioned before, this Kirkwood program, unlike some in that there are a lot of people who had played 10, 15 years ago. And as we mentioned earlier, all the coaches, all the assistant coaches are Kirkwood alum, and they are very, very proud of this moment, and it's something that really, really carries over. It's something you'd expect to see maybe from a local football team or something along those lines, but they have that spirit and that camaraderie. It's very, very special for the Kirkwood community.
Well, here comes the medals out. They're going to hand those out to each player now.
I hope our cameraman's down there to find out what they're going to do to their coaches. I understand that the players have some plans.
Well, I've really enjoyed the nights here at the arena the last couple of nights. Well, the first few minutes of the Blues Blackhawks game last night was unbelievable, with Jablonski coming in and taking up for the injured Curtis Joseph and working miracles out there. And the miracle that Kirkwood pulled off here in the last half of the third period rivals that, to be sure.
How many storybook finishes can you have in consecutive nights?
Man, I don't know. I don't know how the Rangers and the Blues are going to top this tomorrow night, but Terry Annan, Gippo, man, what a third period those guys had, and of course they'll be able to boast about their effort for a long, long time to come.
Final shots on goal were indicative of that as well. I believe it was a 27-24 margin for Kirkwood, and it was exactly the type of game we expected. Very, 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 very close. And the Spartans have nothing to be ashamed of. They've got such an outstanding record.
Thank you for attending the 20th Annual MidStates High School Hockey Challenge Cup. Once again, congratulations to the 1991 Cup winners, the Kirkwood Pioneers. Good night, and please drive carefully.
Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast effort here tonight. The final score, the Kirkwood Pioneers 5, the DeSmet Spartans 3. Kirkwood ends DeSmet's 2-year reign as champions of the MidStates Club Hockey Association. Tom Calhoun, thank you.
Enjoyed it, fellas. Thanks for having me.
For Craig Higgs, my name's Ed Overy. And along with Jack Gamble, Jack, we thank you for your expert camera work. We call him Jack Gamble, the video guru. And we'll be wrapping things up here shortly. Meanwhile, we're going to take a camera back down to the locker room and see what's going on down there. So for Tom Calhoun, Craig Higgs, and Jack Gamble, I'm Ed Overy. Good night from the arena.
Back here in the bowels of the arena with Kirkwood Pioneer coach Steve McElroy. Steve, congratulations. This one's got to feel really, really good.
Yeah, the kids really played well from the very beginning. We kept shooting, and Backel came up with a lot of great saves, but we kept after it. We were real positive in the period break, and we came back and we waited a while, and about with 3 minutes left, we popped in 3 or 4 goals, and we won it. So it was pretty neat.
You want to hear what we got to say in between the break? We reviewed the questionable goal.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
The first one. The one that...
Yeah, that was a pretty tough one.
You guys feel it was in?
We thought, on Thawley's shot you're talking about. Oh, yeah, we really thought it was. We thought it hit a post and then a net and then the post, but a couple of our guys said it wasn't. They were standing by the net, so, we tried to forget about it and let's move on, but that would have been a crucial time. The only tough part was we got that penalty and we gave up that first goal with a couple minutes left in the first period, and I was afraid, that might hurt our confidence, but we kept working after it. And I'll tell you what, I really feel that playing CBC and Parkway South got us ready for this game because they were quality teams. They kept after us. So by the time we got to this game, we were ready for it.
Exactly.
You got to be happy with the physical effort again on your team. Carry on, a couple of big hits early in the game right in front of your bench. You controlled a lot of the physical play. You controlled the boards early in the game. It was tough to see you fall behind 3-1, but the team just rallied behind. You didn't pinch in. You didn't get excited. You just laid back, played your style, and Terry Onden came out big.
Yeah, he's a player. You know, when the shifts were down, he came through, and of course, Kiva made a couple opportunities for him. Bounced in there off the board, got the puck, and threw it out in front. So the big players that we had all year came through for us when we needed them.
The real big goal that you got on the forechecking effort, on the shorthanded effort. You know, we can sort of see that thing breaking out, and Arnold's got such a wingspan on him that it meant to making an exceptional play.
Yeah, and I think Kiva got a little help. You know, a little help from Kiva on that, and tucked it in, and he keeps that puck low, and that's what we knew we had to beat. To beat Bacco was on the ice, and it was just great.
Late in the game, there was a nervous spot for you. You had Dan Kelly out in front of your net, and he hit the puck with a wedge. He had a clean open net there, and that could have been a turning point in the game. We were worried about that, and also getting a penalty with 2:40-something left in the game. Right.
Yeah, and to score 2 shorthanded goals during that penalty is the breaks were going our way. The kids worked hard. They're good kids, so something good, positive happened to them. That's what we kept telling them. Keep after it, and something good will happen, and it did.
You guys really stuck to their game plan. I mean, to the letter. They were down. You could see it took the wind out of their sails a little bit, but they plugged through. And it's really, you know, Craig and I thought it was really quite a tribute to the coaching staff. They were very well prepared tonight.
Well, we were. We typed up a game plan for them, a little report. Thanks to you guys and Jack Gamble, we've had a lot of videotapes, and it really helped us this year. And hearing what you guys said a lot of times really paid off for us. And I studied them a lot, and I knew all their strengths and weaknesses and their team, their lines, and things like that. I mean, I even woke up at 4:30 in the morning to do it. So I really think the videotapes helped us. We were prepared, but the thing is, we can't do it. I mean, they had to go out there and execute it. But here again, I think us playing all these pressure games with overtime against quality teams, when we got down to the big time, our kids were ready to go. They weren't nervous, and they didn't panic. So that really helped us.
You know, my hat's off to the coaching staff. You guys walked in each game. You were prepared. You know, obviously, you said you were studying the films. Your team seemed to rally behind you. You know, at times there was lapses when we were doing games early in the year.
Yeah.
Everything seemed to fall together for you. There was no big Kirkwood lapse in this game. It was a sound, fundamental. Your kids are skilled in the fundamentals. And I think even on the draws, it showed from where we were at that your team was prepared for it.
Yeah, we feel real good about it. I got Tommy Kramer and Greg Griffin. These guys just love the game, and they're both from Kirkwood. We're all graduates of Kirkwood, and it makes it a little easier to coach your own high school that you played at. And we put a lot of time in. Those guys are fantastic. They're all got good strengths and different things. I don't know how to coach defense. Tommy does. He's great at it. The kids listen to him, or they get beat up by him, basically.
Tommy.
And Greg Griffin is our positive guy. He goes around and wipes everybody's nose and keeps everybody up. So, yeah, they're tremendous, and I think it's a tribute to those guys.
Steve McElroy, thanks for your time. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.